Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Dr. Rao. Continuing a tip a day on wellness series, we're going to do day 41 today on stretching. See, a lot of people do not stretch as much as they could and they should. Stretching is confined to something like when they're exercising or some workout and all that, it's fine. But generally, people don't realize the value of stretching in so many things, right? It really longevity of your life is increased, and energy is released, and you generally prevent a lot of blockage of energies, which is really very good in the long run, right? So that is something we want to focus today. Okay, I have done a series actually, stretch with deep breathing and how it can be used for stress and anxiety reduction, and so many other things. Okay, you may want to check it out in my library of maybe 400 talks I have done here. I don't know how many really. You can look at that, right? So what it does is it gives you an idea when to use stretching with breathing, which is really in your control. No money need to be spent. You can just understand how it is used, and then I use that pretty effectively. You know, I use it before and after meetings, not too much, but a little bit, right? And also before I give speeches to crowds. Some of the universities and all that. It's online, granted, but still I can. But I used to speak personally in front of the doctors' crowds at the hymns and other meetings. And it's a really good thing to relieve your stress. Okay, so it does improve your flexibility, and it reduces muscle tension and also soreness, right? And of course, you can improve your physical performance. That's something that is there. And in yoga, it's more like improving posture, promoting blood circulation, and also the energy levels. That's why in yoga they use quite a lot. As I said, it reduces stress as a whole. How can you incorporate this into daily life? That is something that you want to understand. Okay, you can incorporate this in your morning routines, which I do. Very simple things that you could do. You could sit in the chair and clasp both your hands and turn them towards the camera, and then keep the elbows extended and take it all the way up to the sky. And then raise on your toes, and then that will be the whole body stretch you can do within half a minute. That's pretty good. Okay, and when you are working, if you have breaks, during the breaks you can do the stretching. Of course, post exercise, pre exercise stretching we already talked about. And in the evening, as you wind down, stretching is a good way to do that. There's a progressive all body stretching that we teach in Shavasana, which is called dead man's pose, which is done after any serious yoga workout, which is very good relaxation move and also helps you to sleep better, right? So uh, how can you have some safe tips of how to use this stretching is for to make it effective? Okay, not just to stretch for stretch. um, Always warm up, ease into the complete stretch slowly. That's something. And be gentle. Don't be too it should be like a you're having a stretch, and hold the stretch and breathe into it. That's a much better way, not to pull anything. And you can be consistent with series of stretches. That way you can improve that. Body will learn. Body will tell you, oh, this is my limit, this is my limit, so you got to do this. There's something like that, right? And always listen to your body. The body will tell you when it is too much. Okay, this is the way you want to in the morning, in the evening, before activity, after activities, and staying with the stretches and breathing, that will really make you really get out of this tension and stress that you have built up during the work. Now, how does the stress happen in modern life? For example, in the modern life, you usually react emotionally to every small thing and big thing, and every look, every body language, every word, whatever that comes at you, you react emotionally, and that reaction really causes some corresponding stretch, not stretch, corresponding tension areas in the body. And if you don't really are not aware of it, then you can accumulate so much of muscle tension, stress tension all through the day. Suppose you are kind of not reacting to those things and you're aware of your reactions, then you will be responding to things that are in front of you rather than emotional reaction. Remember this: reaction versus responding. If you can change your entire interior not to be reactive, but to really take the challenge and say, we have to do this, I will do this with calm and clear mind, you will stop accumulating so much of tension in your body. So, like for example, you are playing something, you are enjoying something, and you have spent all after with that. Would you have tension in your body? No. But if you are on a business day, and then you are dealing with people, and they are saying something and they are doing something else, all sorts of inconsistencies in the regular modern life, where everybody is an enemy, everybody is an opponent, you have to outdate them, outgame them, all those things are there. People unfortunately think they are being smart by doing them, by getting winnings in some of the business dealings. But that's a mistake, in my opinion, because you don't need to sacrifice your health, maybe however little, but it does accumulate. It does go on, resulting in damage to the inner organs. And that's why you got to clean up your mind first. You got to aim for going there to serve rather than to win over people, right? And then you will have cooperation, right? Collaboration. And then you will be able to do the work in a relaxed manner, and you will not be able to really build up the stress and anxiety otherwise will happen. You may think like, oh, I have to achieve this uh, project by this deadline, right? That's a common thing. The IT people, they tell me, we have deadlines or we have to meet them. Yeah, but if you work with relaxation, not really tension, you do better work, actually. Okay, so all you do is you do the best you can do, and don't be emotionally reacting to that. Don't attach this to your ego. Then you won't have those reactions. Then you will be able to do the stuff. So in a daily life, all the small stimuli that you receive from external world, either as imagined dangers or engagements that are kind of you think meaningful, I should be achieving them because otherwise I'm not a good worker, whatever. All those egotistical activities are not there, but then you are doing the stuff with love, with a lot of patience, and also with a lot of awareness, not in thought activity of ego or thought activity of your own mind, right? You don't want to do all of that. Then mind's anxieties, mind's depressions, mind's projections won't reflect on your body. That's when you don't have much tension, and then you can relieve the tension very easily, right? So this is a very subtle point. Maybe everybody will not be able to notice that, but if you determine to be, I'm going to be aware of what's going on in my mind, inside and also outside, what's going on. I'm going working to the hospital, for example, there will be so many challenges, right, with the patient's health, with the patient's workup, diagnosis, treatment, all those. and also the opinion of the colleagues and the workers with you, and patients and relatives, and social work, insurance companies. So many people will be questioning or asking questions about your care. So, but if your aim is to improve the patient's suffering, in the sense he's relieved of suffering and he's really having a good day, and that is your main aim, not about your name, not about your protection, all that, then this malpractice suits, people imagine them. They think, oh, somebody may sue me if I don't do it, and then they get fearful, and that results in tension in your body. So observe your psychological reactions as a witness, right? This is the witness consciousness meditation I teach people. Separate yourself from what the work you are doing and observe what is happening within you as you do the work, as you get the good result, as you get the bad result. How are you interacting with the other people in a mind wise? How are you having reactions within your own mind? If you can be aware of it, lot of them go down, right? Otherwise, they go on giving sustenance for that reaction, and that results in a lot of tension in your body. This is the psychosomatic interaction, right? On the other hand, you work very hard and then you are building something with the with the hands and feet and all that. You are putting too much work that's not really tolerant by your body, then you can break your body too. That's also there. Then the body's breakdown affects the mind. Other way, somatopsychic reactions. But either way, if you really understand your mind and you are working with awareness in the present, then you will have less reactions in your mind and in your body. Even if a lot of reactions are there, just by being away from it, just watching them, they will go down. Okay, so that's what I mean. You can go pretty deep onto the stretch and all that, but basically, keep your mind also stretched, not going contracting for every reaction, right? That's the important thing to you remember from this. Okay, you always be flexible and maybe give the benefit of doubt to the other people, and maybe don't take it so personal, or let it go, or just try to forgive them and forget about things. Any number of strategies are there to keep ourselves much above than the petty mindedness that people can display, right? That's what it is. Expansion of the spiritual nature really help you to not to contract in a narrow-minded way where you are trying to be defensive, trying to protect yourself, trying to imagine dangers and be fearful. All those things will go away. Okay, and then you won't have so much tension in your body. Okay, so that is the topic for today. And if anybody wants to come up and tell me their experiences about it or any questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer them before I close it. Okay? There are people here I don't know. I'm going to follow them and see what they have to say. I have a guest here. Let's see, Mark. Okay. Hello, Mark.
Ralph.
How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I have a couple things to share with you. One, what I learned about a long time ago,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't practiced it, but I understood it, and I've always understood it. There's like three legs to the fitness stool.
Uh-huh.
One is cardiovascular stuff like running or
Yeah.
whatever you do, playing
Aerobic.
basketball or whatever you do for cardiovascular stuff. The other is resistance training, so you
Yeah.
build up your muscles. And then the third leg, which I believe is consistently neglected by people, is the stretching part of it.
Yeah.
So if you think about, okay, I want to be as physically healthy as I can,
Yeah.
you have to attend to all three of those things.
Sure.
To be as well-rounded, and they complement each other. So if you do a lot of stretching, you
Yeah.
can do better playing basketball. obviously, if you do more cardio, you could be better at your power within that too.
Hmm.
So I've always appreciated that. And then probably what you touched on a couple of times in your talk is more importantly the mental health
Yeah.
benefits of stretching with the idea of
Yeah.
calming yourself down and having a mental and emotional
Yeah.
response that calms down your emotional reaction. So anyway, I think stretching is very important.
Yeah.
It's hard to practice,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh, yeah.
obviously very
No, aerobic conditioning is very much many people do. Either they are doing deliberately or, just they're walking and taking the stairs and just moving about things and all that's good. But then some formulas are there. We want them to raise their heart rate to a certain extent and maintain that for 20 minutes and then go according to the underlying disease condition, all that. That's important. And before the aerobic conditioning, you could stretch. That is much better. And then the strengthening also, very much of the tear of the ligaments or muscles and all that are prevented by employing the stretching before and after. So the integral part. But then by themselves, if the person is heart failure and all that, I would put them on aerobic conditioning first. And then also, if they are weak with muscles and all that, like a spine is not supported by good muscles and all that, of course, strengthening exercise. I have all sorts of things, the gyms and also the strands and everything. We use them. But the stretching I'm talking about here is apart from all that, you can do all of them. But during the day, discover the tension that you are building in the body and try to employ stretching. That's what I'm talking about.
anyway. Thank you
Yeah.
again.
Sure, Mark. Okay. So, but that's very true because it's one of the pillars of fitness, aerobic conditioning, strengthening. But the flexibility part of it is our stretch, which is very important too. But many people don't consider they have the time or they have the know-how about what to stretch and what, and also they are not slowing enough to stretch, right? So that's why I'm bringing it as a separate tip for wellness. There's other thing too in the energy part of it. The yoga, Ayurveda, all these sciences are based on awareness, right? And awareness part of it. In those sciences, they talk about energy lazy, and then you're slowing down, you are really not active. That's called tamas. If you are active, you're running on the stage and very, very going in the mind and all that, that's called rajas. And there's energy which is equanimous, peaceful, quiet, and all that discuss sattvic. So they always aimed for sattvic. There are foods for enhancing sattvic. There are foods for enhancing the tamasic energy. This tamasic energy builds up from our mental reactions or also from our lack of use of the muscles and all that. If you sit down prolonged and all that, right? That energy is reflected in tension, in not wanting to do things, laziness, and all those things you can see during the day. So the laziness in the muscle is reflected as tension too. Once you are aware of it, once you discover it, like I go in the morning, I prepare myself with exercise and all that, right? But I go to hospital. Suppose I sit in front of the EMR documenting whatever I want to do. Sometimes it may take all the patients to be done 2 to 3 hours. And then if I go on sitting there for 3 hours, then obviously at my age, which is 69, but other people also will feel kind of everything slowed down. Okay, I don't allow that. I get up at 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes and walk around and do that. But I'm very sensitive to this accumulation of tamasic energy, the laziness in the body, very, very small amount of it. And that is something, if you understand, you can put your body at any age much more stretched and flexible, energetic, strong, and all that. Okay, so it's a tool that you can employ during the day. Don't react because the reactions can have impulsive wordings and all that we don't mean, and don't react emotionally so that they will go and affect your body and then result in tamasic energy. So to relieve that laziness energy, which is called tamasic, which is also in the stone, and which is also in the stationary water, that you want to relieve from your body, then you can stretch. And at the same time, deep breath into the stretch. For that, you got to slow down your mental running, you got to slow down your body, and you got to be stationary with a stretch and stay in it for a while deep breathing. Okay, so that's a good point. We should be understand. Okay, but this is true, you got to do everything. The modern life was away from the farm life, when people used to work with their body and walk and climb trees and all that, right? And from that we are confined to now houses, to one place, or to sit down, or to be working with computers, to eating something from outside. We don't even work to prepare food, and we don't do all the physical things that we used to do, right? So these days we are more prone for inactivity and sedentary activities, right? That's why we need to cultivate these exercises, stretching, breathing as needed for our body. It's okay. All right, so that's about it. Anybody else wants to come up? Otherwise, we will take leave for today, and then I'll see you again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. Okay, thank you.